Welcome to Secrets in the Shadows. I'm Charlotte, and we're diving into a case that is both horrifying and inspiring. A case that will shake you to your core. This is the unbelievable survival story of Elizabeth Shoaf, a 14-year-old girl who was kidnapped, held captive in an underground bunker, and left to fend for herself against a twisted predator. For 10 long days, Elizabeth endured unspeakable horrors, yet she remained strong, outsmarting her captor and leading authorities straight to her location. Her story is a testament to resilience, intelligence, and sheer will to live. But the failures in her case will leave you angry, frustrated, and wondering how such evil can exist. Before we begin, please show your support by subscribing to help us continue creating in-depth, true crime content. Your support allows us to bring you real cases. Now, settle in and let's uncover the terrifying case of Elizabeth Shoaf. Viewer discretion is advised. The story you are about to hear is deeply disturbing and may not be suitable for all audiences. Please proceed with caution. It was a warm afternoon on September 6th, 2006, in the quiet town of Lugoff, South Carolina. 14-year-old Elizabeth Shoaf was walking home from school just like she had done countless times before. She had no idea that a monster was watching her, waiting for the perfect moment to strike. As Elizabeth strolled along a familiar wooded path, a man suddenly stepped out from behind the trees. He was wearing a fake police badge and had a gun on his hip. He told Elizabeth she was under arrest. Confused and terrified, but trying to comply, she let him handcuff her. The man claimed she had been involved in a drug case and needed to come with him. This man was Vincent Fillmore, a 36-year-old predator with a sinister plan. Elizabeth knew something was wrong, but she had no choice. She was trapped. Instead of leading her to a police car, Vincent dragged her deep into the woods. The path was rough, branches scraping against her skin. Her heart pounded in her chest as she realized this was not an arrest. This was an abduction. After what felt like an eternity, they reached a hidden underground bunker covered with leaves and a wooden hatch. The bunker was an 8-by-8-foot makeshift underground chamber Vincent had built, preparing for this horrific crime. He forced Elizabeth inside, immediately stripping her naked and restraining her with chains. The bunker was dark, suffocating, and filthy. It was filled with survival supplies, a battery-powered television, and even a booby-trapped entrance to prevent escape. Vincent had meticulously prepared for this crime, having dug the bunker himself over time, stocking it with food, weapons, and materials to keep Elizabeth under his control. He had created a survivalist's hideout that he believed no one would find. And then the nightmare truly began. For 10 days, Elizabeth endured the worst imaginable horror. Vincent assaulted her multiple times a day, barely fed her, and constantly threatened her life. At first, police did not take her disappearance seriously, assuming she had run away from home. Because of this assumption, no Amber Alert was issued, delaying the investigation significantly. Despite the terror, Elizabeth stayed calm and composed. She did several things that greatly increased her chances of survival. She dropped her shoes while being led into the woods, hoping it would provide a clue for searchers. Despite ongoing death threats and explosives hanging around her neck, she talked to Vincent about things he liked, making herself appear as a person rather than just a captive. She was allowed out of the bunker occasionally and used that opportunity to pull out strands of her hair and place them on tree branches, hoping that search dogs would pick up her scent. Vincent controlled Elizabeth through a mix of psychological manipulation and physical threats. He constantly reminded her that no one was looking for her, making her feel isolated and hopeless. Desperate to escape, Elizabeth tried calling 911 on Vincent's phone when he briefly left her alone. She managed to dial, but due to poor signal strength in the underground bunker, the call failed before she could communicate with authorities. Though unsuccessful, this moment showed her determination and resourcefulness. Finally, after gaining Vincent's trust, she convinced him to let her borrow his phone to play games. But she had a different plan. When he fell asleep, she texted her mother and friends. The message alerted police, who initially thought it was a hoax. However, Vincent's former girlfriend provided police with his cell phone number, allowing them to triangulate his location, leading rescuers to her location. As the search for Vincent intensified, police tracked him down 5 miles from his house. When officers approached him, he was found carrying a taser, a pellet gun, and a knife. Law enforcement quickly subdued and arrested him without incident. During questioning, Vincent showed no remorse for his actions. Authorities later found his bunker was booby-trapped, designed to injure or kill anyone attempting to enter. Fortunately, Elizabeth's escape prevented what could have been a much longer captivity, or worse. After his arrest, Vincent was charged with kidnapping, possession of an incendiary device, and impersonating a police officer, along with multiple other charges. He pleaded guilty to all counts just before the trial, sparing Elizabeth from having to testify. The judge handed down the maximum possible sentence of 421 years in prison with no possibility of parole. During sentencing, Elizabeth's attorney read a prepared statement on her behalf, as she was too emotional to testify in person. She later expressed relief that she did not have to face Vincent in court, stating that reliving the ordeal would have been too traumatic. She later spoke publicly about her experience, emphasizing the importance of child safety awareness. Vincent was incarcerated at the Kirkland Correctional Institution, where he remained until his death on May 3, 2021, at the age of 51. The cause of death was never officially determined. Elizabeth went on to advocate for other victims, making media appearances on Dateline NBC and Surviving Evil. Her story was dramatized in the Lifetime movie Girl in the Bunker. Elizabeth Shoaf's story is one of strength, intelligence, and resilience. This case is a reminder that evil exists, but so does unbelievable courage. If you enjoyed this deep dive into true crime, make sure to subscribe to Secrets in the Shadows. Until next time, stay safe and always be aware of the shadows.